Hello dear students, welcome to my class. Today we will continue with the chapter 9 history, and that is life in towns and villages. Our first topic for today's class is rise of towns and cities. So improved crop productivity, the growth of crafts and increase in trade and commerce lead to the growth of cities from about 6th century BC. And these cities were supported by kings and traders. These cities were most probably under the Mahajanapadas. So the question is, what were Mahajanapadas? Mahajanapadas refers to ancient Indian kingdoms that existed between the 3rd and 6th centuries BCE. These kingdoms and republics had evolved and flourished in the belt stretching from Gandhara in the northwest to Angara in the eastern part of Indian subcontinent. So these cities under the second phase of urbanization most probably were the capitals of Mahajanapadas such as Pataliputra, Ujjaini and Sravasti. Capital city of the Pandya rulers of Tamil Nadu was Madurai, and it was not only the politically important but also commercially significant because of being famous for its cotton textile. Okay. Some cities, such as Hastinapur, became political and administrative centers. Other cities grew around market that created a number of villages. These cities were usually located where there was agricultural surplus and where exchange could take place. Cities also grew out of religious centers, as in the case of Vaishali and Mathura. Some cities performed multiple functions. Takshila was an administrative center under the Mauryan and the Indo-Greek, located on the trade route between North India and the West. It also became a major trade center. Some cities were important because they were thriving port towns like Arekkamedu in the Pondicherry, Kabiripattanam in Tamil Nadu, and Bharuch in Gujarat. Our next topic is urban population, means lifestyle of the people in urban area. So the literary source और inscription से जो जितने इंफॉर्मेशन मिलते हैं उससे हम लोगों को ये पता चलता है जो किंग्स एंड रूलिंग क्लास थे वो ऑब्वियसली सिटीज़ पे रहते थे. दे यूज्ड फाइन bowls and dishes, and they also used the different kinds of ornaments, and these ornaments obviously made of gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass shell and terracotta. Okay, and also from inscription and literary source से ये भी पता चलता है the different kind of people live here apart from the rich people and kings. So artisans, craftsmen like weavers, carpenter, potters, goldsmith, blacksmith, professional like teachers and official also lived in this type of cities. सो अर्बन पॉपुलेशन को अगर हम लोग डिवाइड करें तो अपर क्लास पे है रिच पीपल एंड किंग्स, देन आफ्टर मर्चेंट्स एंड ट्रेडर्स. दिस क्लास ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द अर्बन population. Then after obviously different types of artisans, craftsmen lived there. Our next topic is the emergence of guilds or shrenis. Many craftsmen and merchants formed association called guilds or shrenis, headed by a chief called the elder. This organization played an important role in economy of ancient India. The guild would fix rules of work, wages, and the prices of commodities produced by its member. The guilds would provide training to craftsmen, get the raw material required, and distribute the end product. Their decisions were like laws, upheld by the merchants and government. Shrenis also served as banks where money could be deposited and transferred. तो गिल्ड्स ऑब्वियसली क्राफ्ट्समैन और मर्चेंट को हेल्प करता था बाय गिविंग लोन्स, and the shrenis or guilds were a great source of support to the craftsmen or merchants who came to the cities. Trade and commerce. Travelers and sellers have left behind a good description of early cities. From 6th century BC, traders used land and river routes and went from place to place buying and selling their products. There were several kinds of traders, including peddler, who traveled on foot, and merchants who traveled with caravans. Then question is, what is caravan? Caravan means a group of people travel together. Okay, so the imports in the city included gold, silver coins, copper, tin, lead, coral, toppage, wine. Export include cotton, silk, ivory, perfumes and gifts for king. ठीक है, इंपोर्ट जो बाहर से आते थे ये सारे जो ऑब्वियसली कमोडिटीज था, गोल्ड था, सिल्वर कॉइन्स, कॉपर, टीन था, लीड, कोरल. ओके, देन आफ्टर एक्सपोर्ट मतलब ऑब्वियसली फ्रॉम इंडिया टू अदर कंट्रीज क्या क्या जाता था, कॉटन, सिल्क, आइवरी, परफ्यूम्स एंड गिफ्ट्स फॉर द किंग. ट्रेड लिंक्स developed between the North and South India and also with the Roman Empire. Several punch marked coins made of copper and silver have been found. They suggest that the barter system gave way to the use of money. This chapter is having case study for three cities: Mathura, a religious center; Arikamedu, a coastal town; and Kabiripattanam, a capital town. Mathura obviously very important tha. Why? Because it is located in between the trade route of North, East and South India. Okay, so apart from its location, Mathura also very famous for its art and fine sculpture. The unique style of art of Mathura is called the Mathura School of Art. Mathura also was an important religious center. Apart from being the birthplace of Hindu god Krishna, there were many Buddhist monasteries and Jain shrines in the city. From the inscription found at Mathura, we find that people of wide variety of occupations lived in the city like weavers, basket makers, goldsmiths and blacksmiths. Arikamedu, a coastal town. Arikamedu, obviously very important bead making center, was a coastal town in Pondicherry, now Puducherry, you know that. It had trade relation with distant land. बहुत दूर में जो ऑब्वियसली कंट्री और सिटीज़ थे उसके साथ इसका रिलेशन था. रोमन लैम्प्स, ग्लासवेयर, gems, pottery found here indicated that there was regular trade connect between the traders of Arikemedu and Roman Empire. Trade with Roman Empire brought prosperity for this town. Goods such as olive oil and wine were imported at Arikemedu, while textile, beads, semi-precious stones, glassware of variety were exported from the port. Kabiripattanam, obviously situated in Tamil Nadu, the Sangam texts provide us the information about the city of Kabiripattanam or Puhar. Kabiripattanam का और एक नाम है पुहर. This city is situated on the eastern coast of Tamil Nadu at the entrance point of river Kaveri into the Bay of Bengal. The big ships used to bring the merchandise goods from distant places and entered the port without any hard effort. According to the text, the markets of Kabiripattanam were surrounded by platforms. These platforms have tall mansions over them made up wide hallways and corridors.